Welcome back to Hidden Creek Connection. This is Brett, and we are here with a very special guest today. This is Sarah of Simply Sarah Jane. And if you like the way my hair and makeup is done today, that would be because of her awesome skills. So if you keep watching, we're going to do a time-lapse video so you can see her do my hair and makeup, and then we're going to come back and ask her some questions. So stay tuned. into the questions. So Sarah, tell me a little bit about your business.
So I started my business about 3 years ago, and just recently last year started into do the bridal aspect of it. And I just wanted to do that because I just loved getting to be a part of a bride's big day and just getting to help look at the pictures and know that I got to do that to help make the bride just feel as beautiful as she is.
Oh, awesome. And just so y'all know, Sarah is one of our preferred vendors here at Hidden Creek. She's worked here several times doing bride's hair and makeup, and it always turns out awesome. So be sure and look on her website. We're gonna actually link that for y'all so that way you can see more of her work as well. So tell me, what is the most popular hairstyle that brides are asking for nowadays?
So the most popular hairstyle is actually what I did on you today, the one where it's the messy bun, but still that clean, controlled aspect. There's just something so carefree and just done about that kind of look.
Yeah, and I love it. It feels really comfortable. It's not like tight or anything, but it also feels very secure. So if you watch the video, she used like a million bobby pins. So I honestly feel like right now I could probably go dance at a club or something and it's not gonna like fall out. Like, it feels very secure, which is awesome. So how much time do you need for hair and makeup on the wedding day?
So usually I try to book about 45 minutes a person for hair and 45 minutes a person for makeup. Now, if you have a special circumstance where you can only start at a certain time and finish by a certain time, we can totally accommodate by bringing extra people or this and that. But it is important to try to manage having as much time as possible for hair and makeup.
Awesome.
And I always like to say, we can always finish earlier than finish later.
Right.
So.
Cool. And do you have a limit of how many people you'll do in a day?
I do not, because I bring in my assistants that I've trained and trusted to work with me in my environment and how I want things done, that I'm able to accommodate any number of people.
Oh, fun. Yeah, that's awesome. So let's say, what happens if you wake up the morning of your wedding and you have a blemish on your face and you're panicking? Do you touch it? What do you do to it?
So the best thing to do is to not mess with it.
Okay.
Don't touch it. Don't be picking at it. It's probably just from stress and everything. It'll probably die down a lot better if you aren't messing with it than if you are. And just let me know day of. I've got tons of different concealers and this and that are actually color toned to help correct that out to where you don't see it in your pictures.
Awesome. And can you do girls of different skin tones?
Yes.
Cool. So I naturally am super pale, like super, super pale. So I got a spray tan last night just to make sure that I wasn't going to be glowing on the camera, because I also got a spray tan for my wedding. So are spray tans something that you can work with?
Yes, absolutely. And if you're ever hesitant, you can always bring in your own foundation. If you haven't gotten a spray tan, most of the time the foundation you're using is what already works for your skin tone. You're used to it, you've been wearing it a lot. And so we can totally, if you are more comfortable with using your own, do that, or we can match to your new shade for your new skin tone.
Awesome. That's great. Do you suggest that brides do a trial run of hair and makeup before their wedding day?
Absolutely. I know a lot of brides that use it for their bridal portraits to help try to save some money or this and that to help get to see the look. But I think it's just super important to just get to see it as a full aspect altogether of what it's going to look like to really help you to get that idea of what you're going to be getting on your big day. Especially if you booked with somebody that you aren't, say, 100% confident or in how your look is going to be. It'll help just put your mind at ease, as well as build that connection with you and your vendor that you've chosen for your big day to help build that relationship.
That's a really good point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's awesome. So do the brides get to choose how they want their hair and makeup to look, or do you just decide for them?
So they can bring in pictures and we talk about it, and we can talk about, what your concerns are, what you like or don't like. Example, you like eyeliner on the bottom. Everyone's got their things. I personally try to make sure that I want you to feel comfortable and love it at the end of the day, to where I feel like it's a group kind of decision thing. And even if it's not my personal style, I'm totally going to do it because that's what you want. And I would rather you look back at the pictures feeling like you than forced into something that wasn't what you wanted.
Awesome. So say someone does like a trial run and they love it, but they say, I want like darker eyeliner or something. Are there things that you can tweak and adjust?
Oh, it's totally an adjustment, and that's why it's a trial. It's a fun aspect of getting to practice run with it and see how you like it, to be able to make those notes for what are we going to change for day of. I also even like to do it because certain people's hair, I don't know how it's going to hold a curl, and so I can say this is its test. If it's raining and windy outside and your curls are still lasting, I know day of we're going to be just fine.
Awesome. And speaking of hair, So should the client come in with wet hair? Should they take a shower that day? What should they do?
So I would totally communicate with your stylist that you've chosen to help make sure that that's what they would like, because certain people, you know, they all have their own personal tastes and what they like to do. I personally would say wash your hair the night before. Clean, dry hair, no flat ironing or anything like that. A lot of times people forget when you put hot tools on your hair, flat irons or such as that, the reason that it actually can curl is because there's still a little bit of moisture left in your hair that when you flat iron it and then say go to curl it the next day, the reason it doesn't tend to hold a curl as well, or when you keep pulling over that one piece that's not curling and it's still not gonna get curled, the reason why is there's no moisture left in your hair. So if you come into me and you pre-flat ironed your hair, unless I have told you otherwise, that sometimes can make it harder to hold its style.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that moisture was what made it curl.
Yeah, not wet, just moisture still in there.
Like natural moisture in the hair.
Even though it's dry.
So smart. I would have never thought of that.
Quick tip, if you have a little piece that you can't still get to curl and you've been fighting with it forever, spritz a little bit of hairspray on it, then let it dry, then try to re-curl it, because that helps put the moisture back into it.
That's awesome. That's really good to know.
She's like, this is helpful.
I like this. Now when I go out on like my date night and I curl my hair, I'm going to know what to do.
Yes.
This is awesome. How far in advance should people book with you? So I've done the video about how far in advance to book your venue, but what about hair and makeup?
So different timelines will say different things. I even just saw one this morning that it said 6 months out for hair.
Okay.
I personally believe 8 months is my general timeline. If you can, any even sooner than that, later than that, we can totally do. I actually have people booked into next year as of right now, even though it's way more than 6 months away. I feel like once you find your vendors and are sure on that's who you want to use, the sooner you can book, the better, because I can't hold wedding dates. And for me, you know, I get upwards of 10 inquiries minimum a day, that it's a little bit harder to keep up with all these different dates.
So just as soon as possible.
Yes.
Awesome. Do they have to book with you to do a trial run? Like, do they have to book their wedding date to do the trial run, or can they do a trial run and then decide?
So you can book a trial run and then decide, just know I can't hold that date. Once you have your trial, I'll try to hold until that trial date, but some people, sometimes the only trial they can schedule is say 3 weeks from now. Well, I can't hold your wedding date for a whole month.
Got it.
So keep in mind when you come in for your trial that I would require you to book, if you're wanting to book, that day to help hold your date.
Awesome, awesome. And what about like facials? So I know a lot of brides go through a lot of stress, and then when the wedding day is coming up, you want to have that glow and everything. Should a bride go get like a facial before her wedding?
So I recommend starting your beauty treatments, skincare changes 3 months before the wedding. A lot of people don't realize with skincare and stuff, when you go through and do those facials and everything, if your acne and stuff gets worse before it gets better, it's because it's bringing all that stuff to the surface. And that can create a ton of extra blemishes and everything if you do that right before the big day, as opposed to starting that process a couple of months prior to help get your skin ready.
That's really smart, yeah. And heaven forbid you have like an allergic reaction or something the day before, like to a new product, yeah. So that's really smart not to use any kind of new regimen right before the wedding. That's definitely smart. And then I just wanted to share a little tip with y'all that we were talking about, is that whenever you're gonna get your hair and makeup done for your trial run, I was always told to wear white if your wedding dress is white. If your dress is ivory, wear ivory. That way you know how your makeup and your hair is gonna look with your wedding dress. So just wear the same color to your trial run that you're gonna wear on your wedding day. And then you can do the same thing if your bridesmaids are gonna do a trial run for their hair and makeup, have them wear the same color that their dress is gonna be. That way you make sure everything blends. So tell us a little bit about your salon. Where are you based out of?
So I'm actually based out of Rockwell Salons, which is actually really close, local to you guys here. I have been there for about 2 years now, and I have my own little private salon suite. So when you come in, it's just you and I together, no bunch of other stylists or anything working around, and we can take as much time as need be in this little space.
Oh, that's fun. And then the day of the wedding, do they have to come to your salon, or can you go to the venue?
So I can come on location. I actually do not charge a travel fee for the locations where I'm a preferred vendor at, because I love coming to work here. It's easier for me to be at the venue anyways. But if your party is small enough, or say it's just you and you'd rather just come in the salon, it's also, because it's local, it's convenient for you to come in salon as well.
Perfect. So they can choose which one they want to have you do.
Absolutely.
That's so nice. And then how long do you think my hair and makeup will last? So say I was getting married today, is it gonna last? What happens if I start crying during the ceremony?
Yes, so all the makeup products that I use are waterproof foundation, waterproof concealer, mascara, all of that such.
Okay.
So it will last as long as possible. I'll be honest, I even sleep in my makeup sometimes and it's still on the next morning. I'm like, we're doing good. And as far as your hair, I provide extra bobby pins and mascara and or hairspray and stuff like that. So you will be able to help adjust it if it needs anything, but it really should, like you said, it felt pretty tight. It'll be home throughout the evening.
Perfect. And then as the bride on their wedding day, do they need to bring like any of their own stuff?
Yeah, so communicate with your stylist because not everybody's the same. Everyone's got their own thing. I personally bring a little tube of touch-up lipstick that I provide for you, as well as a hairspray can and bobby pins and assortment of colors. So you will have all that I provide, but it just depends as far as on your stylist end. I would definitely ask and be sure because you don't want it to be, I wish I would have had an extra bobby pin day of.
Yeah, that's so true. Thank you so much for being here today and doing my fabulous hair and makeup. I feel so much better. When I got here this morning, I was telling her, I was like, I feel like dead without my makeup on. Like I was so embarrassed. So thank you so much. I feel so much better once I have my hair and makeup done. And thank you so much for being one of our preferred vendors.
Thank you for having me.
We love having you here. And thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm gonna link her website to this video so y'all can check out all of her amazing work. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in.